Hello YouTube, this is another video I said I'd do. This one is on the Officer Training Corps. I am a member of the Officer Training Corps. I'm a member of Manchester and Salford University Officer Training Corps, and we are part of the Territorial Army, although we are probably the least an insignificant part of the Territorial Army, and at the moment we're entirely volunteer, by which I mean unpaid. The Officer Training Corps is established especially for students. It fits around university timetables and allows students a glimpse of what goes on in the Army, who joins the Army, their motivations, and what really drives the Army and the Army's values. And I've really got a lot out of it. I can thoroughly recommend it to anyone for the experience, for the benefit for your CV, for the fun you'll have, and what goes on. So this is a video partially for prospective students and partially for those who have no idea about the Officer Training Corps and what we do. It's said in jest quite a lot that we're nothing more than a drinking club, and indeed the tabloids ran with that for a while last year, and this is not really true. Drinking goes on, certainly in any university club. A lot of alcohol can be consumed if that's what you want. But a lot more than just drinking goes on. We do real Army training, we have regular staff seconded to us, and we often benefit from people with a lot of experience. And we get really good training. We do live firing with rifles, we do blank firing drills, we do Army manoeuvres, we learn all sorts, first aid, signals, lots of really interesting stuff. And we also learn a lot of values, I think, and some very practical skills. Being able to go for a night without sleep is the reason why I'm recording all these videos right now. I had to pull an all-nighter to finish a project, which, thanks to being kept all night on some Army weekends, I can now manage just whenever I need to. So I had some extra time left over. Rather than getting a few hours sleep, I'm just ploughing straight through, and I'll go to lectures, still plough through that and be fine. Another skill I've developed is polishing boots. You'll be surprised how quickly you learn to love having really good polished boots, and you'll be surprised how important it is for interviews. I've been to several job interviews now, and people always look down and check out your shoes. It's not a major thing, it won't get you the job obviously if you're incompetent, but just creating a really smart impression really benefits you. Learning to iron and repair stuff as well. I already knew how to repair stuff, but the Officer Training Corps really made me learn how to iron, which is not really a skill you'd associate with the Army until you realise you have to keep your uniform nice and crisp. So for the first year I was really lucky because the Officer Training Corps was paid, and that really functioned my second job. This year, the Territorial Army got its budget slashed massively. There was an outcry because the amount that the Territorial Army was costing the government was minuscule compared to the amount that they were using to bail out banks and other people getting massive bonuses, including the MPs' scandals themselves. So they voted on pretty much every pound that went to the Army, and the Officer Training Corps and the Army Cadet officers who were formerly paid went entirely volunteer, which had hit the units hard because a lot of us, myself included, needed that money. Some of the people needed it, actually needed it. For me, it was my luxury money. So this year's a little bit leaner on the belt. Well, a little bit less spendy on the beer, certainly. But that leaves more time for YouTube videos. So the Officer Training Corps, you're not committed to joining the Army. You're not going to be deployed, and you can leave on notice. You have to hand all your kit back in, but then you can go. But you are part of the real Army. You have an Army number and you swear an oath of allegiance, which I took very seriously. I actually swore my oath of allegiance on hand on heart. I was depressed to see how many of my fellows who I know aren't religious took it on the New Testament, because I believe an oath like that should be sworn on something important. So yeah, I hope this little snippet has given you an insight into the Officer Training Corps. I don't know whether I'll continue my Army career. Sometimes I really think I'd like to go into it, particularly as quite a few people from my high school, they went into the regulars, and I've met quite a few people, young people in the regulars now, younger than me, and being an officer and looking after their interests, I think would be something worthwhile. And if you want to see change on the ground, there's no better place to be than as a ground pounder, making sure change is on the ground. If all the good people don't go to war and only the evil people go to war, then evil things would happen. Fortunately, the British Army is stocked with a lot of good people. So there's one final thing, which is something Americans do, which is they thank people for their service. And this has happened to me from Americans only. And as one, I'm in another country, and two, I haven't served. The Officer Training Corps isn't serving in the army. It's technically part of the army, but thank someone who's really done something for the army. Thank someone who's really done something for you, whether or not it was military. But don't thank me. So I hope this has just given you a little slice and glimpse of the Officer Training Corps. Thanks, YouTube. Bye.